Hello everyone, it's a very, very warm welcome to BTV. We've got coverage for you from the Vitality Women's Premier Division. It's Beeston hosting Reading this afternoon. Pushback is at 2 p.m, which means we're about 5 minutes away from the match beginning. Conditions are looking good. It's the third time in 3 weeks we've been bringing you a match featuring a team that has been promoted into the Premier Division. This time a week ago, it was the men playing Reading. This time, it's the women of Reading making the trip to Nottingham Hockey Centre. I'm Andy Day in the hot seat. Sitting next to me is Jake Reed. What do you reckon we can expect to see today?
I'm looking forward to it, Andy. Obviously, another side newly promoted, as you say. So I think it's going to be a positive day today. I'd like to see goals for both teams, obviously. But yeah, I'd like to see Beeston on top of this one today.
What we're able to do is bring you the team information. We do have the matchday 16s available. Beeston, there's a couple of changes. In fact, quite a few ever-presents in that matchday 16. 12 of them ever-presents for Beeston. And we'll go into that in more detail at the minute. I'm a little bit distracted because there's a presentation about to come up, and trying to keep my eye on both the screen, the office here, and also the match that's going on in front of us. So that is the match day 16. We've got Isabel Hughes. We got her down as 33, but she's down as 15. That's why there's a star next to her. For Reading, it's pretty much an unchanged match day 16, apart from the omission of Shona McCallum, MBE. And Lorna Bennell, number 8, comes in for her. It's another one of those settled sides. We saw that again with Reading a week ago, and we'll see more of the same, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it always helps if you can kind of keep that squad as regular as possible. Just gives an opportunity for the players to get used to how each other are playing, make those connections. But again, larger squads, strength in numbers, always good to have those rotation of players that you can call upon. As we know, it's a long season, so always good to have versatility there.
And also to complete setting the scene, this is what the table looks like at the start of the day. You can see Beeston, 2 matches undefeated so far. A draw and a win from them sees them on 4 points and sitting nicely in 4th position. Reading today are in 11th position, 2 close defeats for them. By the way, Jake, I'm going to hand over to you for a moment or two, and I'm just going to put my PA hat on for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, Andy, with Reading, obviously they've had 2 games at the moment where they've obviously come away with the 2 losses, unfortunately. Beeston with the 1 win and the 1 draw. Obviously they had a good start as much as they would like.
Sophie Robinson on the occasion of a 200th league appearance for Beeston. Congratulations, Robbo! You may have heard me shout that one over the PA system, and just letting you know that the figure in the jacket is Graham Griffiths. He's just presented Sophie Robinson with a shirt with a 200th National League appearance. How impressive is that?
That's very impressive. I mean, and again, I don't think there's many players at the moment, apart from those full-time hockey athletes, really, you'd say, as part of the international programme, that can actually brag about 200 caps. So, yeah. Credit to Sophie Robinson there, really, really good performance.
Leading the teams out are the team in green, today's match umpires, Gemma Jones and Pritpal Sahota. Not looking for a scoreline. I know you said you were looking for goals early on. Do you feel like there's going to be plenty of goals or a tighter fixture today?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think it'd be a tight one today. Beeston, if we're honest, they're not known for running away with the large scorelines. However, both teams are strong defensively. We can see goal difference for Reading only at -2. So, again, they're not a team that concedes massively after 2 games. And likewise with Beeston, strong squad, good in defence. But again, they do have that ability to score up front. So, yeah, I'd like to see 2 or 3 in it today, Andy. That would be my prediction.
Season so far, we've seen already on BTV, Beeston drawing 2-2 with University of Nottingham first time out. Also a travel away to Buckingham on Saturday last, and a 2-1 away win for the Bees there. For Reading so far, it's been 2 defeats by a single goal on the opening day of the season. It was a home win for Wimbledon as Reading travelled to Rains Park on the opening day. 1-0 win for Wimbledon. Clifton Robinson's running out 2-1 winners at Reading last weekend. So as we've been saying, it's been close. I think Reading have got that first win in them. It's just a matter of drawing it out.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see by the league table that Clifton Robinson's sitting second currently with 2 from 2. So again, to lose 1-0 to a side in that position, and we know about Clifton from last year, they're a good side, and likewise with Wimbledon, with the amount of international experience they have, 2 great sides and not bad results, to be honest.
It will be Reading to start. Reading in all light blue, doing their best to disguise themselves with the blue pitch here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. They're playing in your picture from right to left, attacking the car park end in the first half. Beeston in black, black and yellow, attacking the boulevard end in this first half. Just to complete our housekeeping, it is 4 quarters of 17.5 minutes, and the clock is ticking. We are off and away. Early touches for the Reading defence and moving it quickly down the sideline, looking for Tess Hannah.
I think that's great intensity early on there, Andy, as well, to see the Beeston girls stepping out, really trying to put pressure to the ball early on, trying to dictate this game as they do and as they have done in the past couple of weeks.
Indeed. Beeston have been stronger in defence. It's adding goals to that team, I think, that's been the challenge or the mission for the team this week over the off-season. I think that has come, and chances that may have been spurned this time last season have been taken, so converting draws into wins is probably the big thing.
Yeah, agreed, and as you mentioned last week, 2-1 win away at Buckingham. From speaking to the girls, I know they were unlucky, could have been more. I think there was a penalty flick, unfortunately missed or saved. So
it was saved excellently by that, because we saw the clip there last week. It was a really good save, so no shame in that.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, the fact that the Beeston girls are creating a number of brilliant opportunities, and as you say, it's just converting them into wins.
Megan Jones, her route towards the 23-metre line is blocked, so she's had to go back. Reading maintained possession, going back over halfway. Crunched in towards that 23-metre line, but mopped up. Just having a look on the field of players. I'm just trying to work out whether I saw a number that's not been featured in the match day information we've been provided, but I'll keep my mouth shut at the moment, keeping an eye open to see if we get any clarification.
It wouldn't be early in the season, Andy, if there wasn't a good number switch to keep you on your toes.
I think things have settled down. Just the one thing, one number switch that we've got to deal with today. Isabel Hughes, who's I think she made her debut at Buckingham last week. It's the second game in consecutive order. She's a former Cambridge City player and the Kim Bolton School player, England under-18 squad in 2021. That's pretty much the full extent of my knowledge on Isabel Hughes.
Yeah, I believe, that's a similar knowledge that I have, to be honest, Andy. But again, another great player to add to the squad. We see players are being rotated through the Beeston squad at the moment, and as we say, strength in numbers. The depth is good. A couple of players unfortunate to miss out today, so yeah.
Early ball forward, that's being cut out, trying to find Sophie Robinson. Who's scored, and she also had that penalty stroke saved last week as well, so 1 goal for her for the season so far. Free hit for Reading on their right hand side. Today you are watching live on BTV. Wherever you're watching us in the world, do let us know what do you think is going to happen in the game, who's been standing out for you, as that route towards the circle is blocked and the umpire's whistle blows and Beeston will clear. Just waiting for the right opportunity for the aerial, and then it arrives. Whistle blows, a bit congested, so Reading will play out from there. Touch of a miscontrol allows Beeston to steal the ball back. Good control at the back, allowing movement in front to open up, and exactly that's what's happened as the ball into midfield is taken up. Lombrell taking an early touch. Beeston bringing the ball backwards again, maintaining possession, not allowing Reading to get too close to it. This time attacking in front of the dugouts, but that's been dispossessed. Allowed to run a long way before a stick comes onto it. Shielding the ball on the far side. Stick goes flying in the middle of that. Arm outstretched from umpire Gemma Jones. free hit for Reading.
It's typical there, Andy. Just as I was about to say, I really enjoy watching that patient hockey from Beeston. We just get it to the halfback and just choose slightly the wrong time to go there. But yeah, really good control, looking to play it into midfield, and yeah, and rightly so, Beeston win the ball back.
You can pretty much see all of the match day, the 11 that's on the field in that shot for a moment. It's very, very busy area of the field, but it's broken down a little bit more. Players gone back into their positions as Beeston bringing it back into defence, controlled at the second attempt. Metronomic from Beeston at the moment, looking for a bit of a spark, bringing the ball along the far side as we're looking at it now. It's been kept in play, it has been kept. Beeston working it on the far side. Going through the middle, and it's not worked. Looks like Megan Jones who's taking the ball forward, but that's been telegraphed a bit. Beeston moved quickly towards the 23-metre line, and that's good. Sophie Robinson lingering in the circle now. Who's first to it? It's a Beeston stick. However, Reading get the free hit, and they're on the bike very quickly. Risky pass, which does come off. Call of play from the umpire. Dixon does well to make the space to release the ball out further wide. Running into traffic a touch. There's a run in the middle where Robinson is making her way into the circle. Can the pass find her? Space is opening up a little bit. That was the route, and that was the idea. Just a probably under-hit pass into the circle. It just seemed to be the jigsaw puzzles were there. They just needed to be put to place.
Yeah, absolutely. There just seemed to be a little bit, yeah, a little bit of disconnection between the midfield line and the forwards there. And as you mentioned earlier, it seems that most of the hockey at the moment is being played in Beeston's defensive end. To be honest, it's not the kind of game that I thought we were in for today. But again, you can't write off a team like Reading. They were successful last year, and they've done really well to put themselves in a position. And as we mentioned by the results earlier, 2 1-0 losses, they are going to be a side that is hard to break down. And Beeston need to find their way through their press.
Yeah, just speaking again about Reading, they won Division 1 South. They won 13, lost... drawn 4, lost 1 with 43 points on the board with a goal difference of 35. So a decent promotion campaign from them.
Absolutely, and it's a similar result obviously from the University of Nottingham side in their run into the league. Very successful. They only had 1 loss to their name, Reading, as we say. So yeah, they're going to be difficult.
So we've got the mystery number. We've got Seaton at 27. I think I've got an idea who that is, but we'll get confirmation. Lauren Dunn is 27 this week. It's the second time, so it looks as if she will be 28 when the shirts arrive. Good timing from Burrell, getting a stick in and clearing the ball out of harm's way. Reed with a nice sidestep. Here is Stevens, punches the ball forward. Jones mops up for Reading.
It's a very kind of controlled game at the moment, Andy. It's a couple chances coming in Beeston's favour, I think, at the moment, obviously. Reading not really had anything to test Steph Tyrrell in goal yet, have we? But yeah, very controlled in the middle of the park, I'd say.
I don't think we've seen a touch in either circle yet from an attacking player. I'm sure that will change as the game goes on. This is Reading making the most of the space available. Did pop up off the stick, and Beeston have done pretty well to control the bouncing ball. We were talking a week ago with Muss about the bounce on the pitch, and I was making the point that the women seem to have handled the bounce better than the men have done. But we'll keep an eye on that throughout the game, see if it changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And training on this pitch myself, it is getting better as the pitch beds in. It will only begin to play better and better, a lot more flatter. And yeah, it is a really good surface to play on, I have to say. So yeah, I'd like to think the girls are used to it. And yeah, hopefully they can use that to their home advantage today.
Megan Jones has gone through 2 challenges. Takes a very quick sideline ball, it looks like, and now we are into the circle very briefly. Jones going to ground. Not sure who's being extremely vocal on the bench. We can hear someone's voice coming through the window in the chapel, just below the camera position. I'm not sure who that is. I don't recognise the voice, so that lends itself to being someone on the Reading bench. Reading's manager is Richard Dixon, coach is Martin Shaw. Managing today for Beeston, Andy Partridge, coached by James Sodillo, assistant coach Gareth Aiken. Ball held up in the circle, important touch, and Reading have stolen it back. For a moment there, it looked like Reading were almost in.
I think, Andy, that was the first card of the game, I believe. But I don't actually see anybody going off.
No. Let's have a look what's going on here. I think we're about to see the card be re-shown.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I saw the umpire reaching for a card there, but nobody seemed to be going off, so
yeah,
I think that's what we stopped for there.
Yeah, it was to be absolutely clear. We'll try and get an idea of which player that is who's been shown the card. We've got the binoculars out, so it's Beeston that have a player to the good. We'll get confirmation of who has gone off momentarily. Beth Marriott it is who's been shown the green card.
I think that was just for that, just a little bit too physical in the tackle there, Andy. I think it was, she's tried to win the ball there. It's just, it's something that a lot of players do. I've been there myself, where you're trying to reach as far as you can, just to hold your balance. You're leaning on the player you're tackling, and yeah, just a little bit too physical for the umpire's liking.
Attack for Beeston breaking down, but again, it seems like the offer of someone in the middle is where it's at the moment. Earlier on we saw Sophie Robinson, just we saw Nadia Benalal. Here she is again trying to cause confusion and cause an error in defence. Although Reading have done well. A reminder they are a player down for the time being. Green card shown. Lizzie Giddens is the player on the ball. She's the scorer of Reading's only goal this season. England under 21, a former Louisville University player.
Beeston just can't quite seem to get a handle on the game at the moment, it feels. Very, very defensive at the moment, just not kind of really, as you mentioned earlier, they're playing to the channels, the wider areas, and trying to feed that ball into the circle, as opposed to what we've seen from them previously. Just work that ball in, short passages of play, and try and penetrate through the top of the circle there.
Full complement of players from both sides now. Beth Marriott's suspension is over as that ball takes a strange deflection up into the air. Beeston in possession with Rosie Stevens. Making a return back from Belper this season, Stevens. I don't think we've ever had a 0-0 on BTV. Statistically, it will turn up eventually, but I don't think we've ever had a 0-0.
I'm hoping it's not today, Andy. I think Beeston have had a couple of chances at the moment. Not really any testing the keeper yet, and it's probably worth mentioning, obviously, Reading's goalkeeper, Amy Tennant, very experienced, brilliant goalkeeper. So it is going to take a lot of work to try and beat her today. So Beeston have to be on form.
Beeston blocking there. Free hit for Reading. We've not yet had to trouble the corner count. Not even had a long corner yet, have we? In the 14 minutes that have elapsed.
As we say, yeah, a lot of this hockey's been played in the middle 2 quarters, as it were, the middle half of the pitch, should we say. And yeah, both teams stringing things together, but both teams find themselves hard to break down opposition-wise. So, yeah, I'm hoping for some more D entries in the second quarter.
Gibbs having the ball run onto her feet, so giving Beeston the ball back again. Aerial, that's gone a long way. Who's going to be first to it? Robinson is trying to chase it and create something. Was there a lot of, is there contact? I'm not sure there was, but it looks like it's a Beeston ball. To the untrained eye, it suggested that Robinson may have caused the player to fall, but no, the umpire was right on it. And this is the first long corner of the game.
Yeah, I think in that one, the Reading player was trying to do the right thing, use her body, protect the ball, and I think Sophie Robinson just simply outsmarted her, managed to get round the outside and created to be a little bit off balance.
As the sun beams down this October. We're on October the 8th today. All of the players' silhouettes. Makes it difficult for us to look at on the screen and out of the window as well. So player recognition may have just gone down a notch or two.
That's unlucky by Nadia Bernal there. Just tried to put a bit of pressure to the players who received the ball in that aerial, but just a little bit too close.
That's a giveaway. Rez Robinson over the 23-metre line. Nice. Is there a second phase? Yes, there's the ball into the circle. First time into the circle for Beeston. Have been successfully pushed out wide, and Reading mop things up. I just like that movement from Robinson to take the stick over the ball while she was running with it, just to create a little bit of confusion in the defence. So Beeston still working it around the edge of the circle. They've got it back. Can they find a way through? Very, very busy there. Free hits. Reading on their heels at the moment as the ball goes into the circle. Beeston fighting for every scrap of possession right at that end of the field. It looks like that's continuing as Reading are under a huge amount of pressure, but they will clear with around a minute to go in this first quarter with a free hit for the visitors.
And as you say, Andy, I think I was the same way inclined as you. I would have loved to have seen Robbo just go on, take the shot herself. We know she's dangerous when she gets in the circle, and again with that trademark stick over the top, a little bit of a fake. She probably did have the option there to hit that, but yeah, unfortunate. Loose ball in the circle. Just got to start being in a position where we can test the keeper.
Running cross halfway. Time starting to run away in this quarter. Is there an opportunity for the ball in the circle or not with a delivery like that? Reading being a bit bamboozled with Beeston's route out defence. That's knocked out. Is that going to be over the sideline? Yes, it does. That's probably that for quarter one. And that is the quarter time whistle on your screen. The match information. It's Beeston 0, Reading 0 at quarter time. Our headline sponsor is the Magical Mushroom Company. The Magical Mushroom Company harnesses the natural flexibility and strength of mycelium, material structure of fungi, to grow protective packaging at any scale by combining it with agricultural waste such as hemp, cork and sawdust. This offers a safe, sustainable and totally home compostable alternative to plastic foams. Ideal for packaging, horticulture and interior design solutions. You could say they're solving the plastic problem with the magic of mushrooms. Since 2020, the Magical Mushroom Company has produced over 500,000 pieces of mushroom packaging, and by 2023, they'll have effectively removed more than 1,000 tonnes of EPS packaging from landfill. Find out more about the Magical Mushroom Company at magicalmushroom.com. Thanks to our headline sponsors. You're watching BTV goalless, but Beeston, you'd say they probably edged that one on points, that quarter even.
Yeah, you'd like to say. Obviously, there have been more de-entries from the Beeston perspective. Reading, I'd say, have controlled a lot more of the game in the middle of the park. But again, it does come down to who's threatening at goal. So, Yeah, I think we have to look at it as a Beeston win at the moment. But again, it's a long 3 quarters to go, so it'd be interesting to see who can break that deadlock first.
Indeed, as the pace of the game, it started quite cagey. I think that this game could go up another couple of gears.
Absolutely. I think both teams have some dangerous players in their team who, when you do get them facing forward with the ball on the end of their stick, they can create something out of nothing almost. So, yeah, both teams have to be aware of that and look to use those individual players in the right areas, really.
So this 2-minute quarter time break is almost up. The teams are making their way out, and it will be Reading to start this second quarter, or at least it should be. The whistle has blown, and we are starting back on time. A couple of the players are waiting. They were thinking, well, we'll get going in a bit, but no, umpire's whistle blows, and we are off and rolling once again.
Yeah, potentially a little bit too patient there, a little bit too long on the team talk maybe. I'm sure both coaches had plenty to say at the quarter time as you begin to get a feel for the game. But yeah, it's whether now the question is, can the players impact that and turn it into productive outcomes on the pitch?
Just looking for Jane Kilpatrick as well to get more involved in the game. Don't remember saying her name, but I think there may be a numbering issue, because it may be the same issue that we had a couple of weeks ago, but we'll stand by on that. Just waiting for the ball to be placed back in. No ball patrol today, so the players having to retrieve. Very steady stuff. Reading blocking well in front of the Beeston bench. As Reading move the way over the 23-metre line, causing a collision with a foot with the ball. We get the free hit. There's a lot of black shirts between the ball and the circle. And pure weight of numbers, I think, as well as the challenge, is seen off that Reading attack.
And as mentioned earlier, Andy, Reading, I think, are still yet to have that circle entry. Keep getting into really dangerous areas, that 5-yard area from the edge of the circle, but just can't seem to deliver that final pass into that dangerous area.
Ball coming to Pendle right below the camera position here, gets her feet right. Has to go back, but incremental progress. And Beeston, I think, may have created a problem with their own sliding attempt to keep the ball in play for Steph Tyrrell. So it's a long corner, it looks like, for Reading.
Yeah, a little bit loose there. I think Pendle felt a little bit of pressure on her back. But again, yeah, just got to maintain and just make sure these unforced errors don't creep in.
That's nice mopping up, though. The return ball taking the tiniest of flicks off her foot.
And that's what I love to see, Andy. The one who made that actual interception there, Lucy Millington, and she's an outright centre forward. So brilliant to see the forwards working back, doing that defensive work and earning the right to then build back up the pitch. So yeah, really good there.
What we're seeing is these players filling in where they're needed on the field of play. We're looking at total hockey. Ball just about on halfway. Sun continues to stream down. As ever, the support on the sidelines from the visitors from both Reading and Beeston. And of course, there's some from supporters out of shot as well on the balcony. So the fans you see on the far side aren't necessarily everybody that's here. There's quite a lot of people behind the camera. So, as it were, you are always welcome down here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Solid defence from Reading, although the turnover is good. This one's into the circle, shooting opportunity, and that's been turned into the goal. Nadia Benal, number 22, with her second of the season. Surely she won't get many more simple goals than that.
Absolutely, and to be fair, at full stretch, diving, I can't quite see where that passed Tennant in goal. It looked between the legs. I'm not sure if that was right, Andy.
We'll get a look at that. It seemed to maybe go over her.
It did. I mean, that's a fantastic finish by Nadia. The composure to see the goalkeepers closing her down. Just in the build-up to that, I was going to say that Beeston keep finding themselves right in those corner baseline pockets and are finding it quite difficult to enter. We see the ball pop out there onto the shoulder of the circle, and that's where Beeston are dangerous. If they can get in on the shoulders, goal scorers like that, there are plenty. So brilliant finish from Nadia.
Did say it was a simple goal because just with the goalkeeper to beat, but the weight of the shot to just get it over the goalkeeper's shoulder was a delightful finish.
Absolutely, and it's that hunger to score, just willing to throw your body at the ball and just do what it takes to put it in the back of the net. That's a fantastic goal.
So that's 2-2. Currently part of the Irish women's national development squad. She was an NCU student last season. I'm imagining, because I haven't heard any different, that she still is. So
she's actually graduated. I actually managed to catch Nadia before the game and was actually joking with her about hopefully some goals today. So I'm sure she will be pleased. But she's actually graduated NTU at the moment and is now in the working world. So
there you go. Sometimes it's difficult to find information about players. So yes, I'm a tiny bit behind the curve.
No, it always helps, obviously being involved with the ladies section that I am. It's always good to kind of catch up with some of the players. So, yeah.
Beeston ahead for the third game in succession as well for the women's team. They led against Nottingham University, or University of Nottingham, I should say. And of course they led right at the end against to get the 3 points against Buckingham.
Absolutely, and I mean obviously the result that we saw against University of Nottingham last time the girls were at home, what Beeston couldn't quite manage to sustain, should we say, was just that intensity, that pressure on the opposition, and that's where University of Nottingham managed to find themselves creeping back into the game. So really crucial the Bees stay on top today and just maintain their execution.
Flip side of that, Reading know what they need to do. They've got to score to get back on level terms if they want to get anything out of the game. That ball being hammered into the turf and it bounced up and out. Options left and right, and it's been moved first time to the right side. Cleaned up in defence. Free hit for Beeston. Looking at a couple of the players who are in today. Hannah Grieve returning. She didn't play against Buckingham a week ago. Mads Newitt, her second game in succession. No B Bell today. She's played 2 games previously, but no Bell today. And also no Paige Gillett either. So she played the 2 previous games, but not today. So I don't know what the lie of the land is for injuries or whether it's a tactical change, but
no, it's so this week obviously we see Lucy Millington as well come back into the squad. Hannah and Lucy both PE teachers, so I think work came calling unfortunately last week, so great to have them back into the squad. And this week I believe just the 2 players are just unavailable, so it's brilliant to hear there's no injuries currently, and yeah, they're firing all cylinders at the moment, but I'm sure they'll be introduced back into the squad next week or as we go on.
Space opening up. Cusack takes the ball forward under a lot of challenges, gets the ball in towards the circle, and it did take a touch off a Beeston stick last.
That's a really good carry there as well by Ella Cusack, as you say. Just unfortunate not one of the forwards could quite latch onto the end of that.
I think I've worked out what the situation is with Jane Kilpatrick. She may be playing in 13, which is what we'll get confirmation of that, because I'm sure I saw a 13 a couple of seconds ago. So we have a player in 13 on the far side of the field on halfway now. I'm not sure who that is. Rosie Stevens. We got her down to 27, and now she was 28, and she's now 13. So Hughes at 15. Right. If only there was some sort of central database where all this information could be held and it's accessible to people. One day maybe.
It's a commentator's nightmare, I'm sure, Andy.
It just makes you could be certain that that player. It's not fair to say that you know every player's face by now, but sometimes you do. Not all situations. You have to rely on the numbers that are available to you. So you can say, well, there's B-Bell. No, it can't be because she's not selected today. So. Yeah, that's what goes on from time to time when you've got the information in front of you. Greaves come a long way forward. Looks like she's about to find a diagonal ball. In fact, flicks one to the right-hand side of the circle, and that's the first penalty corner of the game, and that's celebrated as if it was a goal by the Beeston players. Yeah,
really good. I think the Beeston players kind of see it as that. They do work on corners so much. They have been effective from corners in the past. Last season, they were successful with them. They've scored already from corners. So, yeah, I think that is a positive outcome for the girls, and hopefully we can convert this into something good.
Going over to deliver is Ella Cusack. So who's likeliest around the edge of the circle? We've just seen Rosie Stevens. And also there is... Millington is just left to centre. It looks as if it's her. That's been turned just wide of the upright, coming off a Reading stick at the last.
Absolutely, it was a good drag flick there from Lucy Millington. She is dangerous from those areas. That is one of their options. She is a good flicker. So, yeah, really unfortunate. I think she was looking for the back post tap in there from Mads Newitt, I believe it was. Really unfortunate not to get onto the end of it. So.
I think all of that stemmed from Greaves' ball in, because I was expecting, like probably many of the Reading defenders were, a diagonal ball into the circle. In fact, it went to the right of the circle, and that's what created the opportunity.
Absolutely. I remember going back to the University of Nottingham game. I was singing Hannah Greaves' praises there as well. She is a fantastic player.
Penalty corner has been given, so it's one each now. If you can talk us through this.
Yes, I think Beeston set up maybe a little bit too slow there. Just the player in the pocket given a bit too much time to turn there. I think it was Bernal there who just got turned a little bit too easy. Beeston players having to step in and cover, and just, I think, too many fouls, I think, in succession has upgraded that. So a little bit harsh from a Beeston perspective, but well earned from the Reading perspective.
And barring a poor delivery, this will be the first time Reading have had the ball in the circle in an attacking sense.
Absolutely, and it would only be right, wouldn't it, that they didn't actually manage to get the ball into the circle to win the corner. However, as you say, another drag flick option. Yeah, both teams opting to go with the straight flick.
That one skipping off the turf and out all the way through the other side. Half an hour gone. Beeston lead Reading by a goal to 0. Will be kept in play. Millington battling for it right in front of the camera here.
That's unlucky there. I'm not quite sure if we could see that on camera, but it looked, after looking out the window, that Lucy Millington took that pretty clean. So, yeah, a little bit hard done by there, but yeah, great pressure from the Beeston front line at the moment.
Reading looking to end the half strongly. It would really dramatically change the team talk if they're going in level. Here's Jones, who's had a good couple of minutes. That's a nice ball down into the corner. Where's the support coming from Reading, though? There is the ball in the circle. A long corner is the outcome.
Little bit too easy into the circle there, I feel. You saw Hannah Grieve get right out to the player, apply that pressure, but just seem to back off a little bit and allow that forward to get into the circle. That is where they're dangerous. That is where upgrades can be won, and we've seen already they have a good flicker from the top, and I'm sure they have multiple options.
Umpire's arm points away from the goal, and Beeston get the ball clear. Just taking a few extra seconds.
as you mentioned with the scoreline, Andy, going into half time, I'm sure there's a number of things that both coaches will be saying, but for me, a 1-0 lead at half time is sometimes the worst possible scoreline to have. You've got a target on your back. It is one of the hardest things to keep that, so I think the important thing for Beeston is going to be going into the second half just with that intensity and starting how they finished.
Things are starting to open up for Reading as they step up the intensity. Just looking out of the window, lingering is number 22, Liv Saligoy. So there's a player there just out of the picture, right on the goal line, trying to create nuisance for Tyrrell. That one though evaporates. Nice run this under a lot of pressure, and that's checked back in from Julie Reid as well. Did well to draw 2 Reading players in and then find a pass away. That's broken down though, 2 minutes until the half-time whistle. Good pace on that pickup. And in turn, good collection under pressure. Oh, shouts of man on. That did look like it struck a lower leg. Play allowed to continue. Are we coming back?
I think that was Keris Miller on the sideline there. Just couldn't quite keep that ball in play, but has won the advantage there, and it wins the free hit.
And that was given away so easily as well. Good battling. Robinson does well. There's the ball into the circle. There's the umpire's whistle again.
Yeah, it was unfortunate there. I think we just tried to play through a Reading stick there. Instead, the Beeston girls just need to be looking. There are players in dangerous areas. Just look to connect with that final line in and around that far post there.
With the clock as it is, do the players on the field get to see the match clock? Have we got another penalty corner? Yes, we have, which is probably going to be enough for the half. Do the players see the match clock at this time in the game, or is it stopped at 2 minutes still?
I believe it stopped at 2 minutes. It always used to be. So I think they're not quite sure how long is left, but obviously with the last 2 minutes in the game, your mindset changes. And as you hear the end whistle there, it is the end of the half, so Beeston can really put all the numbers forward there and make sure this does not leave the circle.
I do wonder why Steph Tyrrell is still there in the goal. She can go off and have a cup of tea nice and early.
I know I would be, Andy.
Another penalty corner for Beeston. Can they convert this one right at the end of the half? It's low, it's hard, it's been turned in for a second. Beeston double the advantage right on the stroke of half-time. Beeston 2, Reading 0, and it looks like it's the captain, Lauren Burrell, who's turned it in.
Yeah, that was a really good short corner there, one they've used quite a lot. Hannah, she does generate so much power from the top of the circle, you can see, and it looks like, yeah, just in front of Amy Tennant there, Lauren Burrell just manages to get a little nick and change direction of the ball. Fantastic goal. Captain's goal,
Beeston adding a second to that earlier strike over Amy Tennant. So it's 2-0 Beeston lead at half time. So what we will do is go into half time. I'm not sure if it's going to be a 10-minute or an 8-minute, but we'd say it's going to be an 8-minute half time. What we do though, know is to work through some some messages. So firstly, Jake.
Yeah, we have a brief message from our sponsors. Our main live streaming partner is Air IT, with over 15 years of industry experience. They're a mature, well-established and trusted strategic technology partner to a wide range of organizations and in-house teams. With comprehensive expertise across IT, communications, cybersecurity and business intelligence, Air IT will cover all your technology needs. Whether you choose to fully outsource or complement in-house resources, we provide a complete managed solution from initial advice to supply, implementation and ongoing support. Find out more at airit.co.uk. Once again, airit.co.uk.
We're also proud to partner with Club Buzz. Club Buzz lets sports clubs build an incredible website and manage their entire club, including their team selection and payments with a Club Buzz app, which is rated 5 stars in the Apple App Store. Get started for free with Club Buzz at clubbuzz.co.uk. This is BTV, and at half-time, Beeston lead Reading by 2-0. Solid defence from Reading, although the turnover is good. This one's into the circle, shooting opportunity, and that's been turned into the goal. Nadia Benalla, number 22, with her second of the season. Surely she won't get, because she's not selected today. So, yeah, that's what goes on from time to time when you've got the information in front of you. Greaves come a long way forward. Looks like she's about to find a diagonal ball. In fact, flicks one to the right-hand side of the circle, and that's the first penalty corner of the game, and that's celebrated. Not as others were, a diagonal ball into the circle. In fact, it went to the right of the circle, and that's what created the opportunity.
Absolutely. I remember going back to the University of Nottingham game. I was singing Hannah Greaves' praises there as well. She is a fantastic player.
Penalty corner.
That they didn't actually manage to get the ball into the circle to win the corner. However, as you say, another drag flick option. Yeah, both teams opting to go with the straight flick.
That one's skipping off the turf, and another penalty corner for Beeston. Can they convert this one right at the end of the half? It's low, it's hard, it's been turned in for a second. Beeston double the advantage right on the stroke of half-time. Beeston 2, Reading 0, and it looks like it's the captain, Lauren Burrell. Welcome back to BTV. Teams making their way out. What turned out to be quite a short half-time. It didn't feel like 8 minutes, but it's just getting back to being playing again. Reading keen to get back into the game. They were 1-0 down until the final touch of the second half, and Beeston getting a second. A reminder that Nadia Benalla with a fantastic lofted finish over the shoulder of Amy Tennant in the Reading goal, and then the final from how far out would you say that was? About a stick's distance?
I'd say less than that, Andy, but still nothing to take away from Lauren Burrell. Great deflection, and always difficult in those kind of areas.
Terrific stuff. 2 goals from 2 of the ever-presents in the match day 16 Beeston start, and this half it's Beeston in the black and yellow, playing from left to right on your screens. They're playing towards the boulevard end. Reading in all light blue, playing from right to left, attacking the car park end in this second half. Beeston on the front foot, turning the ball into the circle very quickly. Again, opportunity for a shot, not there. Maybe this time it's a penalty corner. Really, really sharp start to the second half from the Bees.
I don't think James Sordillo, the coach of Beeston, could ask for a better start, to be honest. It's really good to see that Beeston are looking to maintain that intensity and stay on the front foot in this game. And as you can see, with the first 30 seconds, Beeston are playing hockey in the final quarter. Really good pressure and a well-deserved short corner there.
First penalty corner of the second half. There we go. Yeah. If we've got the graphics, why don't we use them? They were successful around 30 seconds before in match play. What's the outcome here? Delivery is to the left-hand side. Grieve looks to play it back in. It's been drawn the goalkeeper out on the miscontrol. It's been turned towards the goal. Grieve looking around. There's a foot as it bounces out. Allowed to play on. No, we are coming back, I think. Free hit. Space towards the goal suddenly appearing for Reed to maybe play that one in. It's been scrambled away. It's been played towards the goal and it looks like it hit the outside of the board as well. Beeston really searching for that third goal, but it just wouldn't come. Couple of opportunities in the thick of that.
There was a lot going on there, Andy. I think that short corner to start with, just a slightly misconnection. I see the routine they were going for, just didn't quite come together. However, a really good, well-worked free hit, ball in the circle, tests the goalkeeper. And then I think it was Rosie Stevens there, just trying to lob the keeper while she's gone to ground. But yeah, really unfortunate.
I think we're going to see another card here again.
Yeah, I think that's Keris Miller there, who's just been for a little bit too much contact there.
So, temporary suspension. Just looking around in the chapel there, that looked like a green from this distance. It just looked quite bright in the sunshine. So there's a card being shown apiece. So Miller is going to have a sit down for a couple of minutes. Rosie Stevens also did just that as well.
And I was just about to say, Andy, I really like the consistency from the umpires as well. I think that's good to see. We saw a card early on that set the tone for the game, and we can see that they are carrying on that consistency into second half. It is going the same for both ends. So yeah, really good to see.
A ball flying out of play. One for the photographer just to frighten him a little bit. Still one bounced off the sideline. You're saying about umpiring, following the MPUA social media teams. I think I can't remember if it was this season or last season. Gemma Jones picked up an award for her umpiring. So you know we've got a good pair today.
Yeah, absolutely. I know these two umpires from several games. I've been witness to them taking part in. So yeah, really good umpires, and yeah, we're lucky to have them here today.
Reading going through a couple of challenges. It's opening up for a ball in, and that's been turned in. Reading are on the score sheet. It's their first goal from open play of the season, and it will take a replay to work out exactly what's gone on there, because everyone seemed to stop still for a little bit. So this is the restart. There's an acre of space on the right hand side of the circle which has been driven into. I think people are expecting maybe a free hit. Then there was a bit of a potential for a bit of a, not necessarily hit a foot, but I think Nadia didn't quite get her feet right, and that allowed the opportunity for the ball to be played in. And Reading are on the score sheet again from their first open play goal of the season. Yeah,
and I think that's kind of come from nothing in a way. It's a fantastic finish, and to take away no credit from the goal scorer. But that elimination into the circle, ball going away from goal, and just to put it into a dangerous area. Really well done by the Reading squad, but you would have thought that Beeston should have seen that out, really.
Putting a black and yellow woolly hat on for a second, you'd have thought Beeston would probably be the likelier team to score next, but that's not been what we've seen.
Absolutely, and we have seen, obviously, the area that they're playing in now currently. They are in that final third and just not quite managing to connect with that highest line again and penetrate that circle.
Star Horlock is the player that's been credited with the goal. First goal of the season for her. I know it's still early days, so it's still worth saying.
Absolutely, and I think just looking at her reaction there in the replay, I think she was a little bit surprised to see that ball go in there. So yeah, no, fantastic that she scores her first for the season.
I was listening to I think the Football Cliches podcast recently, just watching as ball gets taken towards the 23-metre line. There was a description there. A commentator had used the phrase oceans of time, and it just sounds a little bit crazy, but no, acres of time, that was it. And I think the player running into the circle did have acres of time. I think it was Lorna Bennell,
absolutely,
who ran towards the right hand side of the circle.
Yeah, and as you say, she did have plenty of time, which is why I was quite surprised to see that ball. She did have that time that she potentially could have even worked a shot for herself. But no, really good to connect and look to play into those dangerous areas. So yeah, all credit to Reading there.
Beeston looking to restore their 2-goal lead as soon as they possibly can. Amateur psychologists around the world will be saying that obviously Reading, they'll be playing now with their tails up. They have proved that they can score, although that delivery out of defence straight onto the stick of Millington, who played it out, and Beeston's close to winning back on the 23-metre line. In fact, that's what they're really trying hard to do, really putting the pressure on this Reading defence at the moment, really not allowing them to come out. It has been kept in. It's Nixon, I think, who's in possession of the ball now, has to turn this way and that find a route towards halfway, which she does successfully. Running into a lot of traffic, and she gets taken down by Millington. That's what the suggestion is. Whether it actually happened or not, I don't think the umpires saw it that way, and so play is allowed to continue. No,
I think Nixon was a little bit off balance there, and just hoping potentially if she went to ground there, she might have been given that free award. But no, all credit to the umpires. Fantastic decision. Play on.
Very vocal support from the benches again. Looking out of the picture, Nixon is just hovering around the edge of the circle. Looks like it's a Beeston ball, though.
Just going back to what you said earlier, Andy, about the psychology, kind of the mental side of the game, really. I think that's potentially, at half-time, what has created that Reading goal. Obviously, going into a half 2-0 instead of 1-0, you do begin to feel a little bit more at ease, a little bit more comfortable. So maybe mentally you do slightly switch off, whereas now you're seeing a Beeston side that is really amped up, trying to secure that 2-0 lead again.
Ball into the circle, right on the end of the stick and control first time. Replay the ball to halfway. Progress held up. Beeston having to step away from the free hit. Reading. Best spell of the game, you'd say, so far. Most in command of the game. Although that one allowed to run all the way through and hit the bike board.
It is a much more expansive game, Andy. I think there are, obviously opportunities at both ends. And Reading are really beginning to threaten now a lot more. So, yeah, it's become a very open game, should we say.
Things starting to not go quite right for Beeston in midfield.
You can see what Beeston are trying to do there. I think that's 2 down that right-hand channel in succession there. Just missing the connection, trying to connect with that next layer, play those little intricate 1-2s down the channel, just not quite coming off. So whether Beeston now adjust, try something different, what's the plan B? But yeah, just need to kind of get a hold of that game again.
Just to the bottom left of your picture, that's Fran Clements. She did very well there, showing the ball and then taking it away and finding a delivery. Although Beeston getting into the circle. And that is a penalty corner. How quickly did that turn around from Reading bossing things for that little 5-minute spell? And there's a turnover.
Yeah, and this is the turnover there. Just Beeston take it quickly. Beeston are not set, they're not ready, and I think it's Rosie Stevens here, carrying strong, little lift, straight over the foot, short corner. Really well won that.
Corner number 4, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Converted 1. Big shout of come on Reading. Just looking out of the window. Runner on the left-hand side. There's the low delivery. Rear Ward. Low, hard, moving very quickly the ball.
Yeah, they've looked to adjust slightly. I think they've just shifted to Castle 2 there instead. But again, it's a familiar face at the top of the circle. Hannah Grieve looking to deliver that ball. And you can see now there's been a slight change at the top. So it'll be interesting to see what they go with.
Play towards the left-hand side. It's low, and that's been turned in for the third. Look at those celebrations. It's Sophie Robinson who got the presentation before the game, who puts the third goal into the Reading net.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunate from a Reading perspective. One of the back four, I couldn't quite see who it was actually, but it's done really well to close down, get a stick in the way, and Robbo finds herself in a fantastic position and gets a well-earned goal.
Unusual, because it looks like she was the player delivering the ball in the injection.
Absolutely, and that's fantastic from the injector, that she's just switched on, she's still in the game, and just as we see, I think it's Rosie Stevens there putting some pressure to the ball. But no, I'm thrilled for Robbo on her 200th cap. Brilliant to see her on the score sheet.
Yeah, I think that the actual 200th appearance was, I think, maybe last weekend, or maybe the weekend before, but the presentation's today. But yeah, it's the day that she's received the plaudits and the presentation. She's capped it off with a goal to put Beeston 2 goals clear of Reading again, and it looks like the Bees are sniffing around for a 4th one. That's a nice reverse ball for Newitt to take on. Did it take a touch off a Reading player? It looks not. It was a tempting one. What we'll do is we'll make an on-air production meeting. We'll say that the rewarded penalty corner, because it was taken, appears in our statistics. So we're going to update our graphic to say that's 5 attempts with a penalty corner, not necessarily 5. So that's what we'll do. That's the way it will be done now going forwards. (3-1) Bees lead. Again, it's an embryonic stage of the season. It's the largest lead the Beeston have managed to put together so far this season, but yes, it's only match 3 after all. There are only 10 in this first phase of the league. It's important to get as many as you can, which will put you in good stead for the second half of the season when things split in 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can see the Beeston obviously sitting in 4th at the moment. They are on 4 points, along with Hampstead and Wimbledon. So a win today would put them in a really good position going forward to challenge the likes of Surbiton and Clifton at the top, even though it is such early days.
Good turnover. We were saying earlier on about the psychology of the game. Beeston suddenly have got the bit between the teeth. There might be advantage being played here. Beeston's going a long way around. Still in possession. That's a nice turn. Across the face of goal. Reading get a good flat stick on it. It's not away though. Is there a shooting opportunity here? Penalty corner. Good second prize.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see the umpire's arm up there for such a long time. I was just waiting whether that was going to be turned. You can see here the umpire allows it to play. I think that advantage is probably gone at this point, to be honest. But yeah, really well worked in there. I think it's by Jane Kilpatrick again. And that double turnover, fantastic work rate from Beeston to win that ball back and win the upgrade.
So who's going over to inject? slower delivery. Millington fires it low, and everyone watched it as it went wide of the upright.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit behind the runner there. Clearly looking for a deflection, just couldn't quite connect on that occasion.
Another turnover. Opportunity here. Ball very, very close to the goal line. Penalty corner again. So Beeston really, really need to take this opportunity that's been presented to them. They need to finish this quarter strongly and probably put the game to bed here and now. Turning that around, is it Beeston that have suddenly gone up a gear, or have things, the wheels started to wobble a bit on the Reading vehicle?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I would say it's probably the latter, Andy. Just looking at Reading at the moment, they are taking a little bit more time on possession, standing on the ball a little bit, and that's where they're being caught out. So I think they just have to re-engage, really.
Slower delivery again. Grieve with a ball to the left, and that's been saved. It's still with Beeston. Can they turn this opportunity in? No, they can't, and it's been turned over, and Reading will clear. That's credit to Amy Tennant in the Reading goal there. That one, she needs to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a really good save. I think she was a little bit off balance there, so fantastic. Looked like a right-hand save there. But I should have mentioned earlier that winning that short corner, fantastic. Beeston are putting on such a top display at the moment of pressure in that front line. But in a 3v2 situation, working that ball along the baseline, I have to be the guy to say I would have loved to have seen a little tapping goal there.
Kilpatrick takes the restart quickly. Kilpatrick in 3. Strong blow on the whistle right in front of the microphone, so apologies at home if you've just had your speakers blown by that. Miscontrol, and I think that's evidence that it may be Reading having a wobble.
Yeah, and I think, like we said earlier, against the University of Nottingham, their intensity for Beeston, it did drop a little bit, and University of Nottingham were allowed to creep back into that game. I think Beeston have put that right today, and it looks like at the moment that Reading is struggling to maintain and keep with that intensity.
This is BTV, thanks to our headline sponsor, the Magical Mushroom Company, for sustainable packaging. Wherever you're watching in the world, if there's a player that stood out for you, we'll try and read out your social media messages towards the end of the game. No guarantees if we can or not, but it'd be good to hear your thoughts. So do let us know as the clock ticks over into the third quarter, coming to an end. There will be an end to that sentence. There really will be an end to the sentence. 52.5 minutes played. Beeston leading Reading by 3-1. On your screen, you can see that's a Sophie Robinson goal on 46. Is that 46 or 48? 46 it is. That's the difference. And also crediting Star Horlock with the goal that made it 2-1, with Reading on target in that quarter as well. So busy third quarter. What can we expect in the fourth, Jake Reid?
You'd like to think that Beeston would continue to build and really threaten Amy Tennant in the Reading goal there. But I think looking at a Reading perspective, the coach would just be saying, let's get back to how we started the game. The first quarter was good. We looked to control large periods of the game, but it wasn't quite connected in the circle. Reading are having that now. They're having the opportunities at goal, but you'd love to see them just kind of build a little bit more composure and a few more connections through the lines.
Good stuff. This is BTV with 17.5 minutes to play. Andy Day in the hot seat. Sitting alongside me is Jake Reid, the men's first team players for Beeston. Looking a little bit ahead. Next time out, Beeston's women. Well, they are away at Clifton Robinsons. They've had a great record over seasons gone by over Clifton Robinsons, almost that they've got a bit of a sign over them. That will have to come to an end at some point, but hopefully Beeston looking to continue that good run of form against Clifton Robinsons. Yeah,
I agree, and you're looking at the league table at the moment, you're thinking Clifton Robinsons, 2 wins from 2, but again, it's only 2 games into the season. We don't know how those games played out, but looking at the stats, you've got to be going into the game feeling they will be tough, and I'm sure they'll have strengthened from last season. So, Beeston will have a job on their hands.
Reading next weekend on the 15th of October at home against Holcombe. So that's next on their list. Beeston with a restart. Conditions ideal for the final 17.5 minutes of play. The Bees in the driving seat for what could be very important 3 points. Reading, though, their job is simple. They need to score twice if they want to get anything out of the game. Nice speed and zip about the delivery, and I think we can make our decision about how the women have found the pitch, because the ball's staying flat to the ground. We're not seeing that bounciness we saw a week ago.
Absolutely, it gets better and better each week. It is a fantastic surface to play on. It is so quick, and yeah, personally from training, it is something that the Beeston players will be used to now, and that they can use as that advantage over other teams who are used to water-based, but potentially a little bit more bedded in.
Final quarter live on BTV. Reading making inroads into the circle. Beeston are a player down, Lucy Millington, who's had a 2-minute temporary suspension. She's been shown a green card. And it's a second card for Beeston. Keris Miller earlier in the game. We'll try and give you an indication when that is up. Reading, well, that's the wrong place of the pitch. They want the ball with a player advantage. Nice angle and shape, and that delivery, that's being picked up by Megan Jones, who's under pressure from Keris Miller. Ball coming up into, I think it's Jane Kilpatrick who was nearest to that.
It was a brilliant ball as well out of the back line there, Andy, finding number 4, that right half, Megan Jones. What I would love to see, though, you're at 11 players, you're playing against 10. Bring that back line up, begin to really play hockey in the opposition half. We can see here Reading are sitting quite deep. There's a good 20, 30 metres of space there in front of them. Bring the ball higher, lay around the edge of the circle, and look to deliver that ball in, threatening at the goal.
It's almost as if you would have expected it's Reading who are a player down at the moment with the shape that they've taken up, but this time they play the ball into the circle, and is that a penalty corner? I think it is.
Absolutely, and it would be that, now I've mentioned they're a little bit deep, of course they win a short corner with the first ball in. But yeah, I just think, as you say, you have to take advantage in that position, get numbers in around the goalkeeper, and as they have done, deliver that ball into the circle. But as you see here, fantastic ball in. I think unlucky there, Keris Miller, maybe a bobbly ball. And actually, the pitch has gone against Beeston there with that bobble.
You're right, it was skipping. And first penalty corner for Reading since that Q2 effort. Another shout that's come on Reading from the sidelines. Delivery is low, but it's been flicked up for a long corner. First player to, it was a Beeston one.
You know, it was Mads Newitt there, had a really good number 1 line there, running line, and yeah, fantastic.
You saw the runner coming back into the middle of the picture, taking a position back on the field of play. Lucy Millington has returned its 11 versus 11 once more. Reading are in the circle, flicked away. Just a little touch, big call of time. I'm imagining the Beeston bench. Touch of game management there. A sprint to return the ball suddenly became a walk. Things that you like to see. That's how to do it. That's just to shave 1 or 2 seconds off. Oh, that's miscontrol, and Reading could be in here. Beeston need to scramble in defence, and they've done that successfully. Real heart in the mouth moment in the Beeston defence.
That's a good tackle there, yeah. And I was just adding to your comment there, Andy. I think that's where Beeston do have the advantage over some teams. They do have a lot of experienced players in this side, although there is that youth in there as well to give that even balance. Some smart players in there who just know how to manage a game.
2 players colliding, but play allowed to continue as the sun continues its job of making my life difficult for identifying players. who did that take a flick off finally? It did come off a Beeston stick in the end. It sounded a bit like pinball from our position. Attempted ball through does make its way through to Phoebe Nixon, who has it stolen off her by Maddie Pendle. That ball does go out off Pendle. Still a lot of energy. Beeston making a couple of substitutions on the far side, keeping their players fresh with 12 minutes to go. It's nice to see players running off. I guess I know if that was me, I'd be crawling off by now.
I know when I'm in that position, Andy, I am begging to come off.
Reading taking the ball over halfway. Grieve trying but not succeeding, but on the second attempt, holding up illegally this time. A Reading attack. Dixon, which way does she go? Goes into the circle. It's been picked up on the second attempt. And Beeston managed to clear it. Again, heart in mouth moments in the Beeston defence. Now a bit of composure on the ball from Millington, coming back off her green card from a couple of seconds ago. Wipes a few seconds off with the possession and does find a really nice ball out to the left-hand side. It did take a Beeston final touch though. I thought it may have been a long corner, but no. Reading will clear it with 11 minutes to play. This is BTV. Just beyond the stick of Lorna Bennell. She's the only new face in the matchday 16 for Reading today, replacing Shona McCallum. Ball's travelled a long way. Beeston pick it up on the right hand side and give away a free hit.
It's unlucky there. I think that was Ella Cusack there, just trying to take the ball quickly. Unlucky there, just been placed onto her foot, but a really good tackle by Reading. It just seems to me that the Beeston are really beginning to get a firm grip on this game now, playing some really nice passages, down channels, pulling the ball out of congestion. It's the kind of hockey that you really like to see, and you want Beeston to be playing all season long.
Look at that, you can see Reading very keen to get things going. One of their substitute players dashing out from the bench to get the ball back into position, although that effort was wasted as it was straight onto, I think that was Hannah Grieve's stick, who controlled it excellently, and Beeston bring the ball over halfway, but also not for long. Reading trying to seek a way back into this game. There's a player down. We may find a stoppage in a moment or two. It's Lauren Burrell who was down, and she's just been having a quick chat with the umpire. Everything seems to be all right in between times. Whilst I was looking on the health of Lauren Burrell, we have a penalty corner for Reading. Yeah. Intertwined sticks.
I think you could see there with the Lauren Burrell incident, I think it was a harmless collision. The Reading player just looking back at the ball whilst running forward and didn't quite see Lauren there. And yeah, just a little clash of sticks and potentially a foot there in the circle, leading to that Reading corner.
So Georgia Hopkins is the player number with 27 on her back. She's the one that's going to be injecting. Little shuffle to the left from the entire set of players around the edge. Trap is good. It's a miss. A big appeal for something. Long corner. Now, was that a cheer for the good defence from Beeston, or were Reading insistent that there was something there?
I think to me that sounded like a Beeston cheer. It's an unmistakable Sophie Robinson cheer I can hear. So yeah, I'm sure they were just delighted the ball's gone out the D.
Nice misdirection on that penalty corner routine as well from Reading. Reading, is there a way back into this game for them? I think there is. If they keep these, when they attack, if they're doing it short and quickly, I think if they're trying to build, things aren't happening for them. But if they go quickly, things are starting to work for them.
Yeah, and that is where they will catch Beeston out. So Beeston do need to be aware of that. But yeah, Reading have the potential to get the ball down, get it going early. And as you can see here, in behind the Beeston defence, and just draw the foul, try and win those upgrades and corners.
So Reading looking to end the game on a high. Looking for their first points of the season, this Reading side. Starting the day in 11th position with Buckingham the only team below them. Nice angle ball into the circle. First touch is good, and the second touch not so good.
Yeah, I think Beeston got away with that little one there. Really good step in front by the Beeston defender there. Couldn't quite see who it was, but yeah, just to deny that forward in a really good goal scoring opportunity.
Crisp delivery out to the 23-metre. Challenging for the ball on the far side, player going to ground, and Reading really turning on the gas here. Everyone to the left of this circle, and that was easy enough for Beeston to snuff out. I think if Reading were to spread out more and give more options, that would have really caused problems.
Yeah, like you say, I think Beeston need to be careful that Reading can catch you on the break, but Reading just needed to make sure they made that connection there instead of making the option to carry, just maybe a little early drop off and get the ball back in the circle.
You are watching BTV, but our job is to be as objective as we possibly can and praise teams who are doing well if it doesn't happen to be a Beeston side. Beeston's number 27 has gone off. So that is that Rosie Stevens who's having a... No, it isn't. Lauren Dunn it is, who's had a sit down. Lauren Dunn is the player transferred in from Swansea. Another one of the ever-presents. Bit of space, and again, game management is important here. Third card for Beeston. Not much of a concern. A couple of green cards, they happen to everybody. Beeston have stolen it back just outside the 23-metre line. Reading will have to retreat. Diagonal ball in towards the circle. Just catching the Reading defence on flat on the feet, and first to it is Beeston. Punched away over halfway. The nearest player in blue was probably 30 metres away. So nice idea, but there was no one there.
Yeah, I think as you get into the last 4 minutes of the game now, we can see, I think legs are starting to get be a little bit tired now. So yeah, you'd expect them to a little bit deeper now. But yeah, another opportunity to Beeston to build up a little bit of possession, work the ball up the field, and hopefully finish the game playing in the opposition half.
Aerial from the side. Reading right underneath it and taking it down well. Beeston snatching at the ball and grabbing possession back, this time via the sideline. Game management is the thing here. You need to keep hold of the ball, and that's not what happened. That's Tess Hannah, who's a lot of space. She runs into a tackle. Don't give away a penalty corner. That'll be the instruction. Back to 11 is the shout as well. Reading with 3 minutes to find 2 goals to get anything out of the game. Running it back towards Clements. Oh, that was the option. It's gone into the circle. First time control takes the sting out of the ball into the circle, and that's been tapped out of play. That's music to the Beeston defence's ears. Just trying to have a look out. You look at your picture, there's 4 Reading players trying to create pressure. So aerial is the way, looking to find Millington, who's been penalised, and Reading will have to come back. It looks like it's their ball, but we are coming back.
You can see here as well the Reading line, the back line, sorry, very high up, pushing all numbers forward now just for that last-ditch effort.
The ball into Tess Hannah, just come off her stick at the angle she didn't want, and that's gone over the baseline with 2 minutes to play.
I think when you're in that position, you have to be trying to play forward, so Reading are trying to do the right things. You can see now a little bit more energy from the centre forward there, but giving it all they can.
There's the first time ball forward. It's gone all the way through. Reading have got to get the ball up the other end of the field, and that's not ideal. Beeston in possession, trying to go around the right-hand side of the circle, and potentially look at a penalty corner, and that's what's arrived.
Absolutely, I think that's all come from that ball from Jane Kilpatrick down the line there. Done really well, Beeston to turn over the ball, and fantastic work rate. I think that's Sophie Robinson who manages to win that ball and put it on the foot eventually, after some good work here by Mads Newitt, as you can see.
Just stealing in, 17 on her back, celebrating her 200th appearance, which was recently. Reading 3 penalty corners, Beeston now up to 8, and this, regardless of whether it goes in or not, pretty much guarantees Beeston the win. There's the delivery to the left-hand side, turning, shooting opportunity. It's been turned in, however, you can see the umpire clearly pointing at the foot on the way.
Yeah, I think it was a really good idea there. I think the short corner went wrong. Mads Newitt found herself on the ball, tried to redirect it towards goal, and just unfortunate to find the foot there.
And Beeston really looking for that final moment. Another penalty corner, and I think we've just seen the clock being stopped. Have we seen a yellow being shown with 2 seconds of the game to go?
That was, I think that was actually my better half. Julie Reid found herself on the ball there, manages to eliminate one, gets a little bit of a body check on the way through, and I think that's been given as an upgrade outside the circle for that challenge. So yeah, really well done, and Beeston can finish on the corner.
Indeed. So it is 3 points in the bag. What's the final score though? That's the only thing to be decided here. Can Beeston get a 4th, which their game probably deserves today? Not an ideal delivery, it's still live, the turn is good, it's been knocked away, and that is the end of the game. Well, it should be. We are going for a restart on the long corner. Maybe our graphic isn't quite as accurate, or maybe we did stop time, and that is the hooter.
All I can think, Andy, is there must have been some stoppage for the cards, potentially.
We did stop briefly, but I don't think it was that long. As a series of whistles, finally, we are able to hear the applause of the crowd. That was a cracking game that we've been able to bring to you on BTV. Final score, Beeston 3, Reading 1. The match information on your screen. Nadia Banalo with the opener, lifting the ball over Amy Tennant. Loughborough with the final touch of the first half, converting from short range on the penalty corner. Star Horlock pulling one back on 39 to make it 2-1 at the time. And Sophie Robinson with a finish on the penalty corner, tapping in her own injection to make it 3-1 on 48. So that's your final score. Beeston 3, Reading 1. So what we will have in a few moments' time, once we're able to get him, is James Sordillo. And he's the coach of Beeston. Get his thoughts in a few moments' time. What we can do as well is look at the schedule. We were looking at Beeston's next match. They're travelling to Clifton Robinson's at midday. And it's followed up by a trip to Holcombe the following weekend. Reading are at home to Holcombe and then host University of Birmingham on the 22nd of October. I think that first Reading win isn't far away because they've not done too badly. It's just the result that's gone against them.
Yeah, and I think you've got to take positives from this game. There were large spells in the first half that you can argue Reading did have a firmer grasp on the game than Beeston. But it was Beeston who took their chances and did create a lot more goal-scoring opportunities. You can see from the corners, I can't quite see, I think it's 8 or 9 corners Beeston managed to secure, as opposed to Reading's 3. So you can see
I think that's 9. I think we've got none in quarter one, but we've got 2, 5 and 2. So in a couple of moments, we do have James Sordillo, but also we will have Sophie Robinson able to have a chat with them. We're just setting that up now, and Kellen Griffiths is going to be the man asking the questions.
With me now is Beeston coach James Sordillo and 200 Sophie Robinson. Both of you, your thoughts on the game?
You? I just thought we did a really professional job. There are bits I think we need to tidy up. I think we had opportunities to score a few more goals there, but it just broke down too early before we got to the circle. But overall, I just thought really professional, stuck to our process and kind of got the 3 points.
Fantastic. Anything from you, Robbo?
No, I think, some games, so for example the Uni Off game, same situation, 2-0 up, and we kind of let it slip, but we're really growing as a team, especially developing from last year, and it's really exciting for what we can do, so yeah.
Brilliant. And what about our prospects for the rest of the season? Obviously the season is a season of 2 halves. We've had a good start. What do we think? Where do we think we're going?
We've set our targets internally. We've got a few different things we're aiming towards. I think with this group they surprise a few in the league. We just got to keep building, keep getting better every week. We know that we're not where we want to be yet, but we know where we want to go, and that's the main thing.
Fantastic. And then last question for you both. Standout player today?
Robbo.
I think Kez.
Fair enough. Up the bees. Thanks both of you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks to Coach James Sordillo, and thank you also to Sophie Robinson for coming over and having a chat to us at the end of the game. Also thanks to Kellen for putting the questions to them. You can see them returning back over halfway. Next time out on BTV, it'll be the turn of the men. And Jake, you can tell us who they're playing next.
I would love to tell you. I'm more focused on tomorrow, Andy. Sorry, I know we're heading over to Hampstead. Obviously, it will be a tough game away. We know what we'll expect with Hampstead. They're a good side, number of senior internationals in that squad, likewise with ourselves. So always a fun game. You know what you're going to get there, and hopefully we can secure the 3 points tomorrow and then heading into next weekend at home.
Yep, next weekend at home. It's the first of 2 weekends where the men's are the players we're showing on BTV. It's Old Georgians on the 16th of October.
Yes.
That's going to be a fun game. That will be a test. I'm trying to be as positive as possible, but it will be a test. They're one of the 2 EHL representatives, so it's all, and they're champions, of course.
Yeah, my memories go back to last season. We opened with Old Georgians away. It was a tough game. I think we came off 5-0 loss there. However, we made huge progress in that game, and they're a team that we know what we'll expect. So, looking forward to that one.
That's followed up the following weekend with a home match against East Grinstead as well. So those are the 2 following fixtures here on BTV. Many thanks to our sponsors as well, Magical Mushroom Company. More information about Magical Mushroom Company at magicalmushroom.com. Thanks again to our headline sponsor. We couldn't do it without you. This has been BTV. Thanks, Jake Reed, for your insights alongside me in the chapel.
Always a pleasure.
And from me, Andy Day. Until next time, when we bring to you the men's match against